Alright, abusia, ye be mama kwa aba shronko so. Aba POG Media, show safi ena so aba. Obe like no subscribe na afin so to my share dwumadi no. Ama for friends nsa atume aka and please kindly click on the notification bell so I'm a brand no. Any political update be the better channel ni subia no. Onso onsa atume aka na wa share na afin so asan so atwe wadwene. Afi yembo ra yensem ne yemfa ensem dodo na N0w. His Excellency John Prez.Mahama Ghana man pinyina busia waba aba besende strong one and ama Attorney General Dominic Ayini abusia John Prez.Mahama said that pray bargaining no Attorney General Št0p now and yes obeshre nedjuma abusia dia intina ensem bi sei ekoso Attorney General send fifi kote edinkan aba beka no eko akwakoye me say or Kati deals with the NPP criminals na so is an offense. Abusuandra da John Prez.Mahama miti press na ye nua ba ye friend na na ma ejako ye adwuma ewo UTV ekobusa ora ene Attorney General honsem a wo che say you see NPP criminals ne ye omode na John Prez.Mahama eyi na no John Prez.Mahama che say that pre bargaining na ene na mo from am say ade Attorney General ye pre bargaining no no kure say bibisa ekoso na yembra NPP amayuku no ene hyeto wona so no John Prez.Mahama de onfa enye adwuma omo deserve say prosecute omo no e be prosecute omo ne jail omo abusua ensem ekoso na se woni ensese ye kacho men waste time kra no mom ye nkono nkuti ensem no mu bi na se na be kono nya like adwuma di na me sure so be like share ma for friends nsa entume enke bi meremase
loot Operation Recover All Loot. And no dear. On say Prez.Mahama ba ya na sa committee we wote na Foreign Affairs Minister na ne dano. Honorable Samokujeto abla kwanom ne mpanimfo bi Raymond Achanom na Št0p Kofi Buachenom na wom na former Auditor General Domlevo na wom enyina ewom ebi. Enti omo ye adwuma pa. Enti omo ye omo adwuma wie no se no ora adwuma de nyina Attorney General ena ye de amano enti no enura mikobisa ho asem because plea bargaining no na Ghana for no me say na menti ase minim se emra ye hye no 2022 emra ne da hodada but ye nsakraye wo mu ena che say plea bargaining ne ye de eba mu director mo me question ne ma me on enti me question ne ba wi a Afe na Prez.Mahama response no na ya bo mi ko bisa say the law is the law ne there is the law but so the law is the law na Prez.Mahama 2 person o kire ye say once the law is the law it will be awie wo man pesika gift your ware nom I osesi bench nom ene kwabena dubu ahenom nipa de sani pa nim say onye dam onye hwepa lugu $12 million pa no de nsa bom ne ya tedi so the law is the law o metua no mfa ne huni ana eje sika no so o tam de akose $12 million ni nyina ni o tua kra sa ase no nipa de sani nim say Ghana hanu ma yeti tire nkwan ya fam de kra Št0p a na enade ni sinsewiem e fam de kra yenye wiosimi ko ye wiem de efom de akura no yenye nwie usimi koye awem de ne yaka bom Professor Akuffo $2 million no o ma wia so the law is the law enti no omuntua no mfom hu ni ananti question me bisa president no yentie ne ento aso
has the floor.
Patrick Medina na Major Bawumia TV. My question is oral. I'm saying, Mr. President, what can PIA oral? Now, the last accountability series, Attorney General statement in person read kakami quoting kakranami to us the floor. I wish to remind you of the fact that when I announced the Kwabena Edubwahi investigation, I was blunt in stating the fact that I am open to engaging in plea bargaining with those who have been investigated and found to have looted or stolen state resources. I means no words about my intentions and will therefore not shut the door to any accused person willing to enter into negotiations with my office for purposes of reaching a plea agreement. Yenim say ya criminal and other offences procedure amendment act 2022 plea bargaining. But my question is say fight corruption as Attorney General state attorney say we be na upon the ato honomwa say we loot state resource and as a fund bra then me negotiate. Does it mean say so obeti asese sika na me fire no metua ye jai no ana ndi wo honom ana me question no that's
just
okay I asemo we dey ya can station dey ya bro for kind dey say ya o we ga TV3 ni na kan yanka ya dey nya butre eyi ni baako o ahụ eti we say ni ye Attorney General enu a me share na bisa asa question we because say one tia 2022 na MPP eye samra we di to ho no mo a omo bo kronu ni nyina awie no mu ye se da bi the way ye lutu oman no ya mpe bibi the law is the law am ye ho banya ye bedem ye be wo prison ye be wo jail eti yenye samra we emfa to ho no mo fa mo ye ho ban wo be accuse NDC aban Prez.Mahama ne Attorney General say mo shedem na mo ye negotiations but not the law is the law mo ma me Prez.Mahama response no na ye ntoa so Prez.Mahama response mo fama me na ye ntoa so na ye nkɔ ye nim enkyiremu a wode ebaye me ba emra no me bia mo watie emra no me ba me bie sa emra no ama watie the law is the law no na wahunu baabi a ade ani firi a eba baabi ade ani firi ya eba aha na wahunu say enti no emra ni ne unim na emra ni da ho no da Criminal and Other Offences Procedure Amendment Act 2022 Plea Bargaining Act 1079. It is amrane da Criminal and Other Plea Bargaining Act 1079. It is amrane 2022 and MPP for ekwa ye kwa amende emra no. Eyi bi firi mu say we ye boni bia emra ne fa bi mema ho kwan say brabe bagani. But robbery no many other cases being count. But corruption no many other the shame because almost yet the ma almost on the bed ebe protecting women interest. And then here na make can say politician interest ever first. Oma one cedis of we are 100 Ghana cedis. Ni interest here first oh. They say no politics will be interest. Prez.Mahama ba ye di ono no Ghana for interest. Etina na Akuffo Addo ene Attorney General no Godfrey ye bo adamenum nyina na kabo muo e na wo mo yes your friend say Plea Bargaining Act editor 1079 say ya bokro no ya hwe ya ye bedem enu entini ye mra we ne mfa ma ye ho ban na tie say aka say the law is the law direct and patro say video na ye ready a mo ma me sa video no Prez.Mahama response ya wode ebaye na yentoa so emfamfiri honom enu na ehia papa because Ghana for can say a very very sensitive question and N0w me de ma President John Dramani Mahama no na yentie anu yi a Prez.Mahama e de ebaye enti mi pacho mo mama me na yenko yenim
senya okan no MPP abreso mo de hihye bi ban ayemra se abande wudi efa case bi ho se ebia wafesika na bibia o akwenya obetimi aka se yo ene aban case na mode kwedu amode bomino me sande sika na se agode bia na se bibia mode bomi kwedu no mesande aba senebeya monfa menkoto how do they call imprisonment if you say monfa menkoto if you say enti yemra edaho enti obi ayabo no kwedu bia ewo tumi say obeka say you ene yentwa so na memfa say mra na enjai sa you know enti eno enye aban ene beka eye nipa ye de na kugina court and so Say oka say oh munjai asem no mu na me fa say mra na say agudie bia me fire me san fa mra na say japade bia me fire me san fa mra na say bibi aban wa kwanya say be ka say de bi enje na ye beto aso any case no enti ejina case no any ni anipa ne ye enti still aban wo to me say even though wako emrana siaka say me pese me san ede bibi bema abaina that we've not wavered in our commitment for even a moment.
Oh, said the law is the law now. And but any cases ni nyina man you di oka ya ne say any cases bia obi ti say kwabena dubu ahi say sa no one national signal bureau device here also akwakoto yi a sika $7 million ya obi a separate account wa one na yire elutu di kogu mu no enu ye betimi agye but stolen vehicles no sankofo cars na ekina membre mu video ati CCTV no mo kosete ye na capture na yile ni fie on mo cham de bebre mu so sa no ne de enu no ye ma wuntua enu no bedam wo ho but ye $7 million de you will pay. To say Chema won't to me say, Exim Bank you acquired $10 million so the quacoye a ye fui, a brofuya would di, and when you bet Josica, but ye just as he carry ria. The next year, will mine in our a forest reserve simua, one casawa buy, and a catcher say, we issue lands to be a farmer, and we won't mean Chiaka because your land, your resources are what send your forest, yes, and we say, bet me at them. So, but maybe say, Professor, may I convince you so you soon, $2 million. No. Onu say also very fan de betimi amanetia but said bibi to say gift your ware pa lady na say bia maka kire say onu gift your ware refund this sika because of plea bargain in the law.
All right abusuya teacher sensem no mu bi ene ekokoti ne na abusuya ye nua ba ye fe no na nama ejako edito aso na o ka chese eye ken ofori ata asema wo chese ken ofori ata man no o ye den Ghana ha obeba ken ofori ata ebeba am ye yinins ababe yinsama na even kin oforiata mpodi Ghana scanner we wiano no odobo ne times 3 o yedanya ensa one prison wono kin oforiata ebeko bi ye wonkofo bi wo ho a so mu discanner bakura na ye be jili o mo e bitise gifty or ware eye edubo ahene kin oforiata modie o mo pa musika no o mo ndobo ne times 10 o mo yeden ensa one prison o mo beko abusuan sem ode to aso no na ano edin ti me pese mbami akoni akwakuti yuni aba na na ma eja akonsema ode to aso
is the law and over the Prez.Mahama Ghana form fan change this your mind da and then Ghana form fan chamo da God's name si pa ma ekwamodem crofo eno de se moye sa dia ba sika dia monji sika no so kwa de so mu twia pa na no obi ka kire me se ni nyina aka ho bi ntina reset ne koso ti de monya sika wa sister yeso mu dia mlika di sika na e ba Lutas ne de ba but be ble so bedem because the law is the law avei so far Attorney General investigations do awa your docket do aye ready but your docket na ye ready aye afa court e me kan Št0p ye nye wo judge fo ene ye nye wo prosecutors ya afa court mo na court process ne course no na wo gada more evidence na de court na wo update ye ne ye ti ase enti no enu so ye ntie Prez.Mahama ensam a wo kan ye e de fa ho.
Neither have we been complacent. What you are witnessing is not inaction. It is a steadfast adherence to due diligence, due process, and fairness in the pursuit of justice. Yes, our insistence on doing things the right way may afford those who have looted this country some temporary relief. But let me be clear, it will not grant them permanent escape. Across multiple fronts, active pursuits and prosecutions are well underway under the Operation Recover All the Loot. Over 200 cases are under active investigation, with about 80 people interrogated so far. Several prosecutions have begun, progressing steadily and remaining firmly on course. In the Republic versus N0w, the state has submitted witness statements together with all other documents, and trial has commenced. And the first of 3 prosecution witnesses have been called and have been cross-examined by counsel for the accused person. With the SkyTrain case, for instance, the prosecutors have secured a trial date as all preliminary matters have been concluded and the trial is set to commence. For the National Service Authority case, due to its expansive nature, charges have been drafted and will be filed as soon as the legal year begins against the following person: the Republic versus Št0p, the Republic versus Eric Nyako, the Republic versus Gifty Owari. Also for the National Cathedral, we are awaiting a forensic audit from the Auditor General. Additionally, charges have been drafted and are ready for filing in the case of Republic versus Wontumi and Akuntamani. The Economic and Organized Crime Office, EOCO, is finalizing its report with respect to Exim Bank transactions. Dockets are in preparation for the buffer stock case and the drip equipment case. Investigations are ongoing into the African Cup of Nations case, the March set case, and approximately 20 other cases currently. Let me be clear, every single case of corruption that needs to be investigated is being looked into. And once evidence is found to ground the prosecution, that will happen and happen swiftly. Looking within, we launched a code of conduct for public officials with an insistence on strict compliance. A high-level working group has been inaugurated to draft a new anti-corruption strategy aimed at strengthening ethical governance and institutional coordination. My fellow citizens, the scourge of Galamsey is receiving much attention.
Okay, eti N0w media encounter na nepo ene ya bobo so no ye benya bre ye besanso aba ne ye biebie mu pidi ama but se wunya akwanya enkade na be bisa Prez.Mahama eti ye comment section no fa o question bra fa o comment bra se wunya akwanya ye no ye gina amanemu ye no na enough emamo minim say ye dey anka wo 1 or 2 questions bia enka be bisa Prez.Mahama me tie de o de fama me de be ma Felix kwacho ofusu honorable nsaka Prez.Mahama ensa betimi aka eti so far 8 months enye ni nyinani but ne poni bi no ena mabosi security nyina no eyade a ye wura mu a ye bowura mu sentwerefo de ka de fa ye ho ebinum salary a enye no ne ade nyina yade a Prez.Mahama kekai utimi ye adwuma ewo media house bi 10 years adwuma wura na adwene nye N0w mu da timi ye adwuma wo ba bi 10 years media house okrom ha na adwuma wura enye sika mo sika ba na otua obi below minimum wage 400 Ghana 500 Ghana office wa yo favor kwa na wa ma wadwuma eye media houses bebre especially private ne de kwase abuo nko a bebre 5 years N0w mu national tripartite committee pa omo kwankwa tena sinko negotiation si ato salary mu 2% 10 years wunya bi da 5 years wunya bi da wo salary 200 e won tumu da boss no mama nka sam nchirahwe but Prez.Mahama say public ne de obetimi ba private ne de monto akwasam de mumu workers kwase asa nya mbetua mo kase de university wo ka chon se nya mbetua mo kase a wo ka kwanya mi hiraye ai se kutu se bamfo wo ka kwanya nyankopɔ ye de hira wo mo edp so ho aha ene sentwerefo eduru ba bia but under Prez.Mahama ye share de hu sase ye bon sentwerefo ye mo se wane ye bo no police ni yokoye se obo hwan obia mu obia upia I know my right eya na do so aka no for ata wo obeba kwa ikero for ata obeba munya botre obeba ken ono ne de Plea again no enkovan ECG dey ECG for N0w so no okay ECG container chief of staff clear N0w so no se munim se utility players in industries no se quarterly ti e pese ye to nkane ani nso obom o di proposals ekọ e bia beti 240% 300% but unim say PURC yo ye mediator no o mo trase e negotiate eti Ghana bi ma da ese ya to ayi mu se enti de na mo mframam 200% ye beto nkane abom ni ade no Prez.Mahama say nsi e bia aboro so 10% aburo so abat e wo so hu se IMF conditionalities ne wom eti eyade a wo se ni nyina etimi eye adwuma kama eti Ghana man pani president nkwa o so aho 8 months o se Ghana fo mu hia accountability e dia na maye de maye nie asomani ana set say anso Ghana fo ani a 2028 e be show mo red card but 2028 red card na ye ko show dia kofa fallacy for fallacy for there be da enti Prez.Mahama say dey we free ase no ko ni say ya fa Ghana e dia bi di wie nie me time as ba dey di wie nie Prez.Mahama kan e wo bra exchange rate no cedi no appreciate ye course so na Bloomberg the report eba ka kire Ghana for say ka kire wiase say Ghana ye currency no enya ahoden ma dollar drop ya ba say 9 cedis no ko 10 cedis egina ho che by say na number 12 cedis but Prez.Mahama kind during that period you say almost peg dollar because of exports eno money ade no between 10 to 12 enti say na edu 12 eno akamini amano ebisa sa akwahyiwe edu 12 so omumbroso because Prez.Mahama eka ni nyina awake edumandi anopa bia captain wa ha o captain wa ha o ana say JB wa ha o ya no wa eneye awake me da ase na no pay me da ase enti no saso ye kuku.
All right, Abusia teachers, when in some course, our political hiring so His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, Waba, Abasen, the Segna, Ama Attorney General said that pray again na Kosono, on stopping now, non started with the prosecution. Essence NPP appointees, on what the bonnet, that NPP criminals we, on what the bonnet, Sikani Mundi, on what the bar, ye beji, Nenso, Jelly dear, Wintimi, and Skipu Jail Abusia, and Sama Kosono, na ano Eden. Medumbesia, Madame somebody penny bikuti, Sama Koso, our political hiring. So, POG Media, Madam Asi.